Season 1, Episode 11. The Ballad of Brad and the Whispering Tart. The morning sun on the porch was not blistering. It was clarifying. Glorp stood at the railing, coffee in one paw, staring at the backyard like it had just insulted him, and he was deciding whether to forgive it. The patch of moss became a hole in his mind. The clothesline became a fairway. The crooked pine became a windmill. No, not a windmill. A slow-turning thing made of spatulas. He took a long, satisfied sip.
Clement, what this yard needs is recreational whimsy.
Clement blinked slowly from the doorway, as if trying to translate the phrase into something fit for prayer. By mid-morning, Glorp was knee-deep in a hole he could not adequately explain, wheelbarrow full of what could only be called materials. Clement drifted over with 2 mugs of tea and waited.
What we're doing is making people whisper to plants.
I see. And what will the plants do with these messages?
That's their business.
Clement picked up a spatula from the wheelbarrow and turned it slowly in his paw.
This is a windmill blade.
Of course.
In the metaphysical sense.
Naturally.
Clement handed it back. By noon, the plans were sketched. Glorp had explained Hole 6 to a passing Robin in considerable detail.
It is about the loneliness of the bunker. The sand is incidental. The metaphor is not.
The Robin flew off mid-explanation. Senti watched from the porch swing, one paw curled around his coffee, the other tucked under his apron tie. He had not been asked to help. He had not offered. He knew this one belonged to Glorp. Not every sanctuary needed his paw prints. By nightfall, they had built the most spiritually conflicted mini-golf course in Texas. 12 holes, each a metaphor. Hole 3 required players to bank a glowing ball off a teacup sculpture. Hole 7 featured a slow-moving windmill made of spatulas. Hole 9, you had to whisper a truth into the moss before the ball would roll. Glorp stood back, surveying the finished work with his paws on his hips.
Forgiveness.
The path.
The sign went up near the gate the next morning, painted in Glorp's confident hand. Miniature golf for full-sized emotions. By the afternoon of the grand opening, the side gate stood open. A collection of porch family, neighbors, passers-by and Smoke and Soul regulars had begun to form, drawn by curiosity, by the hand-painted sign visible from the road, and by the promise of miniature golf in a backyard that had, until recently, contained only moss and memory. A local anapestic poet named Byron arrived first, already declaiming.
In the soul of the grass and the shape of the pine, there is something afoot in the slope of the line.
Byron accepted a glass of agua fresca from Senti and continued without losing meter. The possum couple in coordinated overalls appeared next, holding one putter between them, debating logistics.
You are the supervising one.
You are the supervising one.
They reached an agreement neither of them remembered making, and entered the course. Theodore the otter came in a fresh waistcoat, humming Sam Cooke. He took a folding chair near hole 3 and made it clear, without saying anything, that he was not playing today. He was watching. Percival Finch, the dignified fox in a bowler hat, took a position near hole 7. He tipped his bowler at the windmill. He did not speak. And Brent, who arrived with his notebook, said,
Whoever wins, I'll write the song. If you tie, you both get one verse.
Senti came down from the porch to greet.
Theodore.
Bear.
Theodore resumed humming. Senti bowed once to Percival, who bowed back without breaking the line of his bowler. He poured Byron a refill, which the poet accepted in scansion. Then Senti returned to the swing. He had a feeling about this one. Glort lifted the microphone which he had set up on a folding TV tray near hole 1, connected to a karaoke machine of indeterminate vintage. He tapped it. The mic responded with the sound of someone testing a microphone in a basement in 1996. He gestured at the machine with the reverence of someone presenting archaeological evidence.
Ned and Denise live a mile up the road. They had a garage sale. This was in a box marked, "Works with Patience." They told me they had stopped singing. They didn't know why. I gave them a jar of the Nepal honey. They gave me this. I've been waiting for the right moment to show it off.
From his post near the scoring chalkboard, Clement said nothing audible. But the corner of his mouth did something that, in another bear, might have been a smile. Glorp surveyed the assembled company with the satisfaction of a bear who had built something impossible and was about to make it official.
It is with great pride and hastily procured permission from Brent that I introduce all of you to Forgiveness, also known as The Path.
Brad arrived loud and a quarter-hour late, wearing a visor he had constructed from a repurposed meat tray and the kind of leather wristband that suggests its owner has thoughts about the windmill industry. He carried his own putter, battered black aluminium, brought from wherever it was Brad lived when he wasn't here. The possum couple looked up.
That is a hat.
That is a hat that has been a tray.
They returned to their supervising. Brad tested his swing in 3 directions before deciding which one was wrong. He laughed too hard at his own warm-up. He pointed his putter at the spatula windmill on hole 7 and accused it of prejudice. Then he pointed it at Clement and muttered something that included the words "whispering Tart." Clement nodded once, accepting the title.
All right, who's playing me?
The possum couple took a synchronized step backward.
We are not the playing kind.
We are not. We are barely the supervising kind.
Theodore raised one paw in an unmistakable "not me" gesture without stopping his hum. Percival Finch tipped his bowler the smallest possible distance. Then, with a precision that made the gesture feel more like a treaty than a no, he tipped it back. Byron looked unamused by Brad and intoned,
I have come for the verse, not the contest of clubs, and the muse will not bend to a series of putts.
Brent lifted a pencil instead of a putter.
Scribe today, already on the hook for a song.
Senti raised his coffee from the swing in a salute. Glorp lifted the microphone.
I am the voice of the course, not the hand of it. Hands are for windmills and the unmaking of windmills.
Clement set his tea down.
I'll play.
Brad stared.
You'll play?
I'll play.
Tea pouring, lotus folding, whispering. You'll play me?
That is what I said.
Brad's grin returned, recalibrated and alive.
Fine, fine. Me and the whispering Tart. Let history fear us.
Ladies, gentlemen, and Glorp, welcome to the inaugural match on the inaugural day. In the left position, a hyena who has done this before. In the right position, a bear who has not needed to. Proceed with feeling. Hole 1, the warm-up, spiritually optional.
Brad rolled his ball cleanly into the cup. 2 strokes. Clement did the same. Tied.
Hole 2, the mercy run.
Brad in 2. Clement in 2. Tied.
Hole 3, the teacup of reckoning. Bank shots only. Aim for the saucer. The saucer is also a metaphor.
Brad considered. Brad swung. The ball banked off the teacup in a 40-foot arc, struck the saucer twice, rolled along the rim, and dropped into the cup with the soft clink of a sugar cube finding its tea.
Hole in one. The teacup has been informed. Parties notified.
Tell the teacup what just happened. I want it informed.
Already done.
Send it a card.
Theodore paused his hum of "You send me" long enough to remark.
That was clean.
He resumed. Clement walked the same approach Brad had walked. He set his stance. He tapped. The ball travelled in a straight, unhurried arc, came to rest against the lip of the cup, and dropped in on its own. 2 strokes. Brad up by 1.
Hole 4. The funnel of provisional mercy. Aim is overrated.
Both played a tidy par. Brad still up by 1.
Hole 5. The slope of what we have done. No refunds.
Brad, sensing momentum, attempted a shot more ambitious than the slope deserved. His ball rolled past the cup, came back, rolled past it again, and finally settled. 3 strokes. Clement read the slope without comment and finished in 2.
Even again. The course has a sense of humor and a poor sense of boundaries. Hole 6. The bunker of existential loneliness. The robin knows.
Brad's ball found the sand. He escaped on the 2nd stroke and tapped in on the 3rd. Clement, somehow, did not enter the bunker at all. 2 strokes. Clement up by 1. Brad muttered something about the metaphor that Glorp wisely did not amplify.
Hole 7. The spatulas are awake. Good luck.
Brad waited. Brad swung. The blade arrived first. The ball ricocheted off and landed in Theodore's lap.
The windmill struck first. I just knew this hole had it in for me.
Theodore considered the ball and returned it without comment.
Lap penalty. The otter is not part of the course, despite his excellent posture.
Brad waited longer this time, timed his swing, and sent the ball under the blade and into the cup. 3 strokes total. Clement timed his own swing to a windmill blade he could apparently hear coming. 2 strokes. Clement up by 2.
Hole 8. The plateau of renegotiation.
Brad recovered focus and finished in 2. Clement matched him. Clement still up by 2. By hole 8, Brad had stopped predicting victory and started watching Clement's putter as if it were lying about something. Hole 9 was where the course got honest. The rule was simple: whisper one true thing into the moss, and the moss would let the ball roll. Glorp set the microphone down on the folding tray and turned the karaoke machine off. He did this without comment. The porch noticed. Clement crouched, said something nobody heard, and his ball rolled. 2 strokes. Brad approached the moss the way a man approaches a thermostat in someone else's house. He bent down. He took longer than he wanted to. He said something low, too low for the swing to catch, too quiet for the porch to hold, and the moss accepted it. His ball rolled. 2 strokes. He stood up. He did not look at anyone. He adjusted his visor. Clement still up by 2. Glorp turned the karaoke machine back on, but did not speak into the mic for several minutes. Theodore, somewhere around the 9th hole, had stopped humming. Nobody had asked him to.
Hole 10. The approach.
Clement, still watching Brad after the moss, misread the slope by half a breath and took 3. Clement up by 1.
Hole 11. The last hill before the top.
Brad in 2. Clement in 2. Clement still up by 1. Glorp double-checked his chalkboard twice. He spoke into the mic now in a quieter register.
We come to hole 12 with Clement up by 1. The last hole will decide whether the hyena goes home mad or merely loud.
Brad pointed his putter at him.
I can hear you.
That was the intention.
The 12th hole was shaped like the Smoke and Soul logo, a paw print burned into oak, copper inset where the pads would be.
Hole 12, the paw print. The end of the course. The shot that finishes the day.
Glorp set the microphone down again. Clement tapped. The ball curved like a secret and stopped half an inch from the cup. The yard went quiet. The poet stopped mid-couplet. Percival tipped his bowler. The possum couple, having forgotten which of them was supervising, supervised together. Even the windmill seemed to pause. Clement stepped forward and tapped it in. 2 strokes. Brad needed a hole-in-one to tie. Glorp whispered, off the mic now.
Don't throw it, Brad. Don't throw it.
Brad lined up his shot. He took a breath. He took another.
Don't get smug, whispering Tart.
Clement adjusted his grip.
I had not planned to.
Brad swung. The ball missed by inches. It rolled past the paw print and stopped on the lip of a saucer that wasn't there to catch it. Brad's grip tightened on the putter. He looked at the putter. He wanted to throw it. He just didn't. He looked at Clement.
I hate how serene you are.
Clement bowed.
That is the secret to my power.
Brad stepped forward and tapped his ball in. Clement won by 1. Nobody cheered too loudly. Somehow, everyone knew better. Brent, true to his word, took his seat at the porch piano. Brad frowned.
He won. You said winner gets the song.
Brent looked down at the keys.
Scoreboard says Clement. Song says both.
Brad had no immediate objection ready. This troubled him. Brent played a new melody, slow, with the warmth of an apology that hadn't been asked for.
This one's called The Quiet One on Purpose. One came in loud with a visor made of meat, swinging like the wind owed him money. One stood calm in the afternoon heat, stirring all the shadows into honey.
Glorp wiped his face on his apron, then looked down at the damp spot as if the fabric had made an unauthorized emotional decision.
One called names at a spatula sky. One heard tea in the turn of the blade. One kept asking the grass to explain. One let silence show him how it's played. So roll, little ball, through the ache and the art, past the teacup, the bunker, the whispering tart. Some folks swing hard because losing feels wrong. Some folks win quiet and teach you the song. And the moss heard something nobody heard, and the yard went soft as rain. A hyena learned the weight of a word, and a bear let stillness aim.
Brad was looking at the chalkboard, at the score, at his name.
Brad, you came in loud as a slammed screen door, all teeth and weather and pride. But you stayed when the losing asked something more, and let the kinder heart decide.
Brad looked away, jaw working once, said nothing.
Clement, you moved like a cup being poured, slow as the moon over tea. You did not conquer, you did not reward, you simply allowed him to see.
Clement folded a napkin into a lotus and offered it to a squirrel, who accepted it without drama.
The quiet won on purpose. The loud one did not break. And somewhere in the half-light, both learned what grace can take.
Nobody spoke for a moment. The piano had stopped. Brad's eyes were wet, though he would not have called it that. He cleared his throat.
It's the moss from earlier. Allergies.
Nobody corrected him. Senti, who hadn't planned to play, looked once around the yard. He saw the course in chalk lines. He saw Glorp wiping his face. He saw Brad still wearing the meat tray visor. He saw Clement watching the squirrel accept the lotus. He saw Brent, hands moving in the half-light, making music for 2 creatures who would never have asked for one. Brad stood near the chalkboard for a long moment. Then he picked up the chalk, wrote "Rematch tomorrow" beneath the final score, and underlined it hard enough to leave dust on his wrist. Clement looked at the words.
I will consider preparing.
You better. I'm coming for you, Tart.
I look forward to your attempt.
Brad sat down beside him instead of walking away. Senti leaned back. The swing held him.
I love this damn porch.
The course stayed open until midnight. The scoreboard was etched in chalk, but the song lingered, and even Brad admitted eventually that the quiet had won on purpose. Porchlandia is an original work created by Brent Brooks. All stories, characters and music are protected under copyright 2026. All rights reserved. The porch light stays on.